Why we teach music. So you will recognize beauty. So you will have something to cling to. So you will be human.
I'm Elizabeth. I'm a mom to a little girl called Wanjiko, who will be 5 in May. But over the years, I've become a mom to quite a number of children as well in Korogocho. They also keep me up at night as well as I think about them and their issues. Music has always been a very good friend to me, always from when I was a very young girl. I'd irritate my brothers and sisters singing and dancing around the house. I started playing the piano when I was 4. And all through high school, it wasn't my one and only, but it was my very, very good friend. And it has been a language for me all my life. I wanted to be a musician. That was not an option to my parents. When I was in upper high school, my dad told me, now you need to focus, you need to get serious, we need to kill this music story completely. And so lessons were stopped, and I had to focus on my studies. I was also good academically, and I went on to study biochemistry, then pharmacy. But even then, I found a way to have music in my life to keep me going. When the priest who was running the parish at St. John's asked me to teach music to his kids, I thought it was the most natural thing to do. And because, like I say, it's what I have. I wanted to share this passion of this amazing thing called music. Even those kids who have nothing else can have music.
I was born in a family of 8 and raised up in Korogocho slums. Crime was very high, prostitution was very high, domestic violence. My older brothers got in crime at a very early age. My late dad was also an alcohol addict. Also the nearby dumping site. At that early age, I was also going there to scavenge. Because I was not strong enough to steal, there was a shooting in the street. I still remember that day. During the shootings, I managed to escape in one of the routes.
Korogocho is by the dump site. These families and children live off that dump site. The children, their parents have to go to scavenge for things. It's killing them, but yet it feeds them.
After scavenging from dumping site, my friend stepped on, we call it boiler, and his leg got burnt. He almost lost his one leg.
Trucks come every day, dumping garbage day and night. The dump site is owned by gangs, so in order to go and scavenge, you have to pay the gang. In order to dump your garbage, you have to pay the gang. You know, bodies are dumped there. And it has spread to the point where the dump site is right next door to us. They set it on fire. And that just creates this toxic, noxious smoke. We couldn't do our lessons on a Saturday because that's the day all the families go and they work on the dump site.
By the time I was reaching 10 years, I was old enough to transport guns. One day my uncle came to visit us and he realized that they shared with my mother that I'm getting lost, like I'm getting influenced by the community. So my uncle took me out of the city. No electricity, so all of a sudden I find myself in the rural where you have to live like a family. I was a very bright child, so I concentrated with education. By the time I was coming back again in Nairobi after 4 years, I was a completely changed person. The friends who I left behind in Korogocho, they were now older boys who could handle guns. Most of them died. My mother took me to St. John Catholic Church. Through the primary level, I developed interest of art, playing the traditional drums, serving in the mass, but again, not forgetting the influence from outside. You don't have money. My friend could afford mobile phones. Your colleagues are there. They live a short life but good life because they have money. So you can imagine the pressure. Luckily, I was patient enough to continue with church. That's why I met Elizabeth in Njoroge.
When we first started, of course, it's a foreign concept, music they've never heard before. And suspicion, what's she getting out of this? I remember that was a little hurtful sometimes because, that money was coming from my pocket, I used to take the instruments myself in my car. I was in so much trouble with my parents. Oh my God, there was a time they were not even talking to me. But I know I did it. My sister, God bless her soul, she took so much heat for me.
So they asked us, do you want to play music? Yes, we said, yes, we want to play music. I remember the first time I saw a trumpet, a saxophone, I thought this is gold, pure gold, only to realize it's just a brass. We used to hip hop and reggae music, that's what we grew up listening to. Then she's bringing in now classical music. And I thought, oh my God. I remember the first song was Hallelujah. La 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 la. No, it was very Hallelujah, Hallelujah. From hip hop to reggae, then la la la. It was very boring.
I was pressured by a friend of mine to join Ghetto Classic. I should come on Sundays and join, but for me it was so difficult because I was somehow shy. I saw there was a choir in Ghetto Classics, but for that time the choir was not that strong. So I talked to some friends of mine who love singing, and then we joined together. By that time I didn't know about even my voice, that I can sing tenor. I only knew that I can sing.
I love singing, even if I'm not given the food, I just do it. But just give me the singing, I'm better off rather than food. I'll just survive.
This program has just grown organically. It has its own life. All of us who work there and what we do, it just comes from somewhere else. So I had to convince others to come to this place, to come and teach.
And mostly you find that the teacher only comes on Saturday. Weekdays, we only have less time maybe for practicing the instrument, that is maybe from 4 to 5. And the other time, we don't have anything to do. Just told my peers that let's sing because we don't have anything to do. Sometimes you find that we have a song, but it is unison. So we find some harmonies and then we fix it, and that's how we are.
Society teaches you very different things. Sometimes I feel I'm not good enough because you know, there's still the past keep on hunting me, you know.
Simon started off with a whole group of other kids. A lot of them fell by the wayside, and they laughed at Simon kind of because he's sticking in this program.
But when I play this instrument, regardless of what happened to me, I'm still proud. There is something I know.
And now it's the other way, you know, Simon is the one doing well. He kept putting something in through music. He just finished a degree. You know, he wants to do a master's. He's got a steady job.
We chose classical music because you need to know how to read music so that you can venture into other genres like jazz, rhythm and blues. And it's like walking, baby steps. For you to run, you have to walk. You don't get it immediately. There is a series of training from point A to point B, from bar to bar. It's similar to life.
There's something about the way it finds something in you that makes you stronger, that makes you happier, that makes you more hopeful. It's not a new discovery. I mean, even historically, there were songs for joyous situations. So there were songs for working in the farm, for going to war when you're scared and you have to go and fight and you don't know whether you're going to come back. And that's just maybe who humans are.
You have to interact with the music every day for it to be part of you. Like food, it's your food, you have to eat it. When I gain the skill, I'm able to teach other young kids. So it's a journey. Now you have to introduce him to the journey that you have walked through. Through the training, I'm able to observe their character, their development. The child who was playing piano here, he was a street child, but we managed to transform his life. We feel that through music, you're connecting. There's a lady called Vanessa. When I was teaching her, she was very stubborn, to be honest, because she never understood the bigger picture. But now she has that confidence. She can play her instrument, she can express herself, and it's my joy because I'm able to take her through stages of life.
Ghetto Classics is my family. We share the same instruments, the same pieces, the same conductor, the same tutors. Kula prako in Kiswahili. Practice, practice, practice. Can't play the clarinet if you are sad, because you need to make your lips like the one is smiling. My dreams are finish my studies, teach the other pupils who are younger than me after finishing my studies, go to a better university.
My name is Nicholas Onyango. Vanessa is my study daughter. Allow me to regard myself as a jobless. I've always believed in one thing, that opportunities, they come and go. Talent can open a door. Music is about talent. And as they say that a long journey begins with just a step, it is an opportunity.
I always try to make sure that our kids are part of this music festival. It's called the Kenya Music Festival. That's been going on for almost 90 years now. And it brings together all the schools around Kenya in a music competition. And I like them to take part in it, one, because I want them to interact with the other kids, and we always beat them. So that's also good.
She came up with a technique of sustaining us, exposure.
Through this jazz festival, we have met some amazing musicians.
Kenya became, one of my new favorite places to be. There was a little flower of a music program there called Ghetto Classics. Blossoming in Korogocho, we were just undone by these kids and by Elizabeth, their leader, and the student leaders who now teach the kids.
He said, how can I help? I said, maybe if you wrote something for us and we recorded it with you.
We asked the Ghetto Classics to get involved with this record and to be featured on a track. I contacted Ghetto Classics. If I can get some instruments, would it be okay for me to bring some instruments? Would that be cool? And they were fantastic and said, yes, we'd love some instruments, don't worry about it, please go ahead. So I put a post on Facebook to all my brass playing and woodwind playing friends and explaining the scenario.
James came to me with a load of instruments that he'd picked up with the idea of taking them out to Africa.
Brought all the instruments in and he said, just leave them with me and I'll have a look. So I thought, great, that's so lovely, so generous. Went back a few days later, I said, so what do you think? And he said, oh, I've repaired all of them.
Every evening for the entire week, we have been practicing for the Kak music. So after school, they usually meet from 5 to around 8 p.m.
They don't care that he's a Grammy award-winning, blah, 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 blah. They don't know, and they don't care. But he makes great music, and they're like, wow, I want to be like that.
There's a parent here. She only came to ask, is my child in the list? So that he can attend the Safaricom Jazz Festival. That's all. So when you meet them in the street, is my child attending the festival? Because they have seen the first-hand experience, they have seen the life of change. Is my child participating? Is she or he part of this?
Different kids were going up to him and asking his advice, and I saw him teaching somebody how to breathe, and then somebody was showing him his saxophone, and one, that they have the confidence to do that. That's perfect. And you'll see, they'll continue to talk to him outside of me.
we have been exposed to people who are playing serious jazz music. There's a boy in our program, he believes that there's no one who plays saxophone like Kirk in this world. You want to play jazz. If you tell him, let us go and play classical, he usually say, man, jazz, I can express myself with jazz music.
I know that there's something unique and beautiful and profound about that which is authentic. The indigenous aspect of what ended up being called jazz. Those sounds really are, it's like the audible aspect of a culture.
We connect with music emotionally because it's you who is producing it. An instrument is just mechanical, it's just a machine, but now the sounds come from you. Whatever you're going to play, you have to think about it. You have to express. That's why we all have different tone quality. That's why all musicians have different sound. Let's say the Kakwelam can sound like Branford Marsalis. They're all unique in their way because it's come from inside. It's the expression of environment, society, what they have gone through a childhood while growing up. When you express through music, you feel relieved. It's like crying.
I gave a couple of lessons when I was there to young trumpet players. There was a couple of comments made in passing where, along the lines of, oh, well, lots of people come, but then they just go and we never see them again.
When you go to play that C, remember to tongue it with a T sound. Ti-a-do-ba, yeah?
So I've started giving Skype lessons. So on a Saturday morning, I teach the young brass players of Korogocho over the internet. And that's going very well.
Some of the challenges we've had to overcome are really, truly mind-boggling. If we didn't have something driving us, we'd have given up a long, long, long time ago. I would say that the drive is the kids themselves. Some of the experiences that they themselves have had because of music, I'll give you extreme ones where, they've met the president, they've played for the Pope. Others are as simple as coming for the festival, or suddenly having a new set of clothes that make you feel, those lift their worth, who they are. I'm not the trash of this world.
The best thing about this music is that the kids learn to believe in themselves. The society can't influence them because they know themselves through sound, through instrument, through expression during performances, and they are confident, and that's the most important thing while a child is growing up.
The gangs there and the gangs that run the dump site, they kind of protect us. They have kids in our program, brothers and sisters. They send siblings, so we have a whole family with us.
We have changed the perception because of that music. It's part of us now, it's part of our culture, it's part of our society. The music have created the harmonious community.
We were born here, but we not die here. We sing out. We just pray to God that one day there's a brighter future ahead of us.
My ambitions on singing is that one day I'll become one of the best opera singers in the world and even Kenya, because it is very rare to find opera singers, men in Kenya. It is only ladies.
Why we teach music? Not because we expect you to major in music. Not because we expect you to sing all your life. Not so you can relax. Not so you can have fun. But so you will be human. So you will recognize beauty. So you will be sensitive. So you will be closer to an infinite beyond this world. So you will have something to cling to. So you will have more love, passion, gentleness, good in short, more life. Of what value will it be to be prosperous unless you know how to live?
Viva